the discovery of a 900-year-old princess mummy, buried surrounded by dozens of men. Throughout history, archaeological discoveries have always played a crucial role in uncovering the mysteries of the past and offering new perspectives on ancient civilizations. However, not all discoveries are easily explained. Many times, scientists have been faced with shocking findings that challenge long-held theories and concepts about human history. From strange skeletons dating back millions of years to mysterious architectural structures that cannot be explained by current knowledge, these discoveries not only surprise researchers but also prompt the world to question what we know about the past. Some discoveries have even changed the way we view the development of ancient civilizations, showing that human history may be more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined. In this video, we will explore the most shocking archaeological discoveries that have forced scientists to reconsider many important theories. What are these discoveries? Let's dive in now. 900-year-old princess mummy from the Arctic. A groundbreaking archaeological discovery has just been announced at the Zheliny Yar burial site near Salakard, a remote area near the Arctic Circle. Russian scientists have uncovered the almost perfectly preserved mummy of an adult princess, buried for over 900 years beneath permafrost. What is particularly intriguing is that this princess is the only female in the burial site, surrounded by over 30 male graves. The princess's mummy was placed in a bronze coffin lined with animal skin, and her head was so well preserved that her teeth, hair, and eyelids are still intact. This is the only female mummy found in a burial ground primarily for men, leaving archaeologists puzzled. Although the body of the mummy was not as well preserved as the head, the preservation of the body still provides valuable information about the life of ancient people. Scientists believe that this princess lived in the 12th century and was part of a hunting and fishing civilization in the icy polar region. Interestingly, despite being buried in this cold land, the princess had connections to ancient Persian civilization, evidenced by artifacts such as a Persian-made bronze bowl found at the burial site. Archaeologist Alexander Gusev from the Russian Arctic Research Center stated, "They clearly recognize the mummy as a woman, which completely changes their perception of this burial site. They previously thought only men were buried here, but now they have discovered a woman. The preservation of the mummy is so remarkable that the internal organs remain intact. This is a fantastic discovery for their research." This discovery not only changes the understanding of the Zheliny Yar burial site, but also opens up new questions about ancient societies in the Arctic, where historical mysteries continue to captivate exploration. Priceless treasure in a 4,500-year-old tomb. At the Saqqara necropolis, located about 20 miles south of Cairo, archaeologists have discovered an ancient Egyptian tomb carved into stone more than 4,000 years ago. This discovery, confirmed by Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, is the result of collaboration between Egyptian and Japanese archaeologists and marks a significant step forward in understanding the long history of Egyptian civilization. The tomb dates from 2649 to 2150 BCE, spanning multiple historical periods and providing invaluable insights into Saqqara and the ancient Memphis region. The research team, led by Nozomu Kawai, uncovered numerous treasures during their excavations, including tombs, architectural elements, and many fascinating artifacts. Notably, they found the remains of a person buried with a vividly colored mask, as well as the burial of a small child from the Second Dynasty, 2890 to 2686 BCE. Inside the tomb, the archaeologists also discovered a coffin from the 18th Dynasty, 1550 to 1295 BCE, containing a perfectly preserved alabaster jar. Additionally, 2 terracotta statues depicting the goddess Isis and the god Harpocrates were found. Other discoveries included a stone slab inscribed with the name of a man named Heroides, along with amulets and ostraca, which helped scientists gain a clearer understanding of the religious beliefs and funeral rituals of ancient Egyptians. Saqqara, home to more than a dozen pyramids, is one of Egypt's most important heritage sites and has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The archaeological findings here, along with many other discoveries from excavations across Egypt, continue to expand our understanding of one of the oldest and most mysterious civilizations in human history. For example, last January, the results of a year-long excavation at Saqqara were announced, including the discovery of 2 ancient tombs from the 5th and 6th dynasties of the Old Kingdom. around 2500 to 2100 BCE, and a well-preserved coffin. At the same time, dozens of burials from the New Kingdom, dating from 1800 to 1600 BCE, were found near the city of Luxor in the south, along with the remains of an ancient Roman city. 200 tons of intact gold on a sunken shipwreck. The Russian warship Dmitry Donskoy, which sank in 1905, was recently discovered by the South Korean salvage company Shinil Group at a depth of 434 meters, about 1.3 kilometers off the coast of Uleungdo Island, South Korea. The ship has attracted the attention of treasure hunters due to reports that it was carrying 200 tons of gold when it sank. A video released by Shinil Group shows the heavily damaged 5,800-ton ship after it was sunk during a confrontation with Japanese warships in May 1905. The ship's identity was confirmed by the name written in Cyrillic on the stern. Dmitry Donskoy was an armored cruiser of the Imperial Russian Navy's Baltic Fleet. It was deployed to the Pacific with other ships to participate in the Russo-Japanese War of 1904 to 1905. During the Battle of Tsushima, Dmitry Donskoy was pursued by Japanese warships, and the crew decided to scuttle the ship rather than surrender. Shinil Group believes that the sunken ship holds as much as 200 tons of gold, and the total treasure is estimated to be worth around $133 billion, a truly staggering amount. 700-year-old sword. Under the Vrbas River near the village of Rakovica in northern Bosnia and Herzegovina, archaeologists made an exciting discovery when they found a 14th-century sword embedded in a rock, 11 meters below the water's surface. This sword had been stuck there for many years and has quickly become one of the most important medieval archaeological finds. Known as the Excalibur sword, its name evokes the legendary tale of King Arthur, but this sword holds real historical value. Ivana Panzic, an archaeologist and director of the Museum of the Republic of Srpska, stated that the sword requires special handling due to its severe rusting. This is the first sword to be found near the medieval city of Zvečaj, which was once the center of power for the Bosnian kings. According to Panzic, only one other sword from this period has been discovered in the Balkans in the past 90 years, which further adds to the significance and value of this discovery. Analysis of the blade shows that it dates from the late 13th to early 15th century, a period of great historical turbulence. Interestingly, the sword was found near the ruins of the Zvečaj castle, which was once the throne of the Bosnian kings. The castle was destroyed in 1777, but many mysteries still surround the location of the sword. Archaeologists are working to understand why the sword was embedded in the rock and how it became stuck there for centuries. This unanswered question adds to the enigma of the discovery. With the unique details and location of the sword, this is not only an important archaeological find, but also an intriguing piece of evidence that opens the door to further exploration of the history and legends of the Balkans during the medieval period. Ancient military shipwreck beneath the Egyptian Sea. On July 19th, a team of Egyptian-French scientists from the European Institute of Underwater Archaeology discovered the remains of an ancient military ship at Thonis Heraklion, once the largest port city of Egypt on the Mediterranean. Thonis Heraklion, located at the western gateway to the Nile River, was a bustling center for trade and controlled surrounding areas for many centuries. By 331 BCE, Alexander the Great founded the city of Alexandria nearby, causing Thonis Heraklion to cease its development. Later, earthquakes and tsunamis destroyed and sank the port city, along with a large portion of the Nile Delta, to the bottom of the sea. In 2001, scientists discovered parts of the ancient city's ruins beneath Abu Qir Bay, near Alexandria, which is now Egypt's second-largest city. The ancient military ship, found near where it was anchored and close to the Amun Temple, a famous monument in Thonis Heraklion, was uncovered by the archaeological team. The ruins include many temple remains, giant statues, halls, and towers. According to Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, the military ship is 25 meters long, with large oars and sails, built using traditional methods of ancient Egyptian shipbuilding. In another part of the city, archaeologists also found the remains of a funeral complex belonging to the ancient Greeks, dating back to the early 4th century BCE. This discovery highlights the presence of ancient Greek merchants in Thonis Heraklion. They were allowed to settle there at the end of the Pharaonic era. These merchants built their own temple areas near the massive Temple of Amun. However, these structures collapsed and became part of the ruins, mixed in with the Amun temple remains. 600-million-year-old tiny human bones found in Antarctica. Specifically, these small skeletons were found in the Whitmore mountain range, an area thought to be uninhabitable due to extremely low temperatures. However, the most perplexing aspect of these fossils is that they predate the dinosaurs, existing hundreds of millions of years ago, long before any human-like creatures appeared on Earth. The shape of the bones indicates that they are indeed human, not primates, and the completeness of the skeletons also suggests they belong to adults rather than infants. The discovery, made at the deepest hole in the world where the skeletons were found, also indicates that they are not of extraterrestrial origin. Perhaps there was an advanced civilization long before the age of the dinosaurs. The California Paleontology Museum once described this period as follows: "The history of life's fossils on Earth dates back 3.5 billion years. Most of the fossils from this time were bacteria and microscopic algae. However, in the late Proterozoic period, about 635 to 542 million years ago, according to Darwin's theory, only some mollusks could exist in certain regions of the world. Many things have been kept secret over time for various reasons. However, now, everything is slowly coming to light, allowing us to understand this mysterious world in a new way. Many studies will soon be conducted in Washington, D.C. If we rely on Darwin's theory of evolution, these tiny humans must have been supernatural creatures found only in fairy tales. Yet, more and more real evidence is emerging to show they once existed. As mentioned earlier, this is not the only case. Rich remains and artifacts related to tiny human species have been found in various parts of the world. For example, in 2003, in an abandoned city in the Atacama Desert in Chile, a man named Oscar Munoz discovered a bizarre tiny skeleton, measuring just 13 centimeters. The skeleton was then tested at Stanford University. The results showed that this tiny mummy was not a fake, not the remains of a child fetus, and had some unusual features. It belonged to a species of tiny humans that has yet to be identified. Additionally, in 1932, while gold mining in the San Pedro Mountains of Wyoming, USA, Cecil Main and Frank Carr made a shocking discovery of a dwarf mummy. Based on the size and characteristics of the mummy, it could belong to a dwarf species that once inhabited America. By 2005, a dwarf mummy measuring 25 centimeters was discovered near Makhunik, an ancient city within Shahdad Kerman province in Iran. Smugglers attempted to sell it for 80 billion Iranian rial, approximately 2.5 million USD, in Germany. The news of the arrest of 2 smugglers and the discovery of the unusual mummy quickly spread throughout Kerman province. The Kerman Cultural Heritage Department and the police worked together to study the mummy and determined that it belonged to a 17-year-old adult. Makhunik, also known as Shahari Kotuleha, existed in the region 5,000 years ago. Later, this city was forgotten by history and only rediscovered in 1946. Perhaps these discoveries raise a significant question for Darwin's theory of evolution and open the door to the real existence of other supernatural creatures that we once thought existed only in our imagination or in stories like 1001 Nights. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Best preserved dinosaur mummy in the world. Scientists refer to this prehistoric dinosaur as the best preserved dinosaur on Earth. Indeed, it has been preserved so well that it can't even be classified as a fossil. This stunning 5.5-meter-long specimen has been nicknamed the dinosaur mummy. Researchers were astonished by the level of preservation, which was previously unseen. This creature was discovered in 2011 when an oil worker named Sean Funk accidentally encountered the specimen while working. While Funk was digging that day, he was shocked to find something he had never encountered in his 12 years of work. That afternoon, Funk's excavator struck something very unusual in the earth. He and his supervisor, Mike Grattan, were puzzled by these strange colored masses. They wondered if they were petrified wood or the ribs of some animal. After multiple tests, they were surprised to realize that it was not petrified wood or a tree stump, but a fossilized dinosaur. From this discovery, Researchers spent 6 years and about 7,000 hours examining the evidence gathered to prepare the specimen for display at the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology. Over 100 million years ago, when this prehistoric creature roamed the Earth, it was a member of a newly discovered species and genus called Nodosaur. According to paleontologists, this type of fossil discovery is unprecedented. Typically, it is extremely rare to find a fossil with soft tissue still intact at its original location, with preserved bones and teeth being the more common discovery. Therefore, this is truly an incredible find. The dinosaur discovered was a giant four-legged herbivore, its body protected by armor-like skin and sharp spikes. It is estimated that, when alive, this dinosaur weighed about 1,361 kilograms. The preserved specimen weighed approximately 1,034 kilograms when it was found. When the museum shared images of the dinosaur on its Facebook page, a user humorously commented, "What kind of plants did this dinosaur eat? Was it usually gentle, and when provoked, would it grunt and bite like a turtle? Or did it behave differently? Was it male or female? How did this dinosaur remain so perfectly preserved after being excavated?" This is still a question that scientists find difficult to answer. Beauty wearing 354 layers of clothing in ancient tomb. On October 5, 1974, Chinese authorities and experts were notified by locals about the discovery of an ancient tomb while expanding a playground at a high school in Fujian. Archaeologists arrived at the site, confirming it was indeed an ancient tomb. Their examination revealed a tomb robbery hole in the left corner of the tomb chamber, leading them to believe that tomb robbers had stolen burial items from within. Upon entering the tomb, the archaeologists found only a small white porcelain lamp, a bronze mirror, a coffin, and a tombstone identifying the tomb's owner as Huang Shang, the primary wife of Zhao Yujuan. According to the inscription on the tombstone, Zhao Yujuan was the 11th generation grandson of Song Taizu Zhao Kuangyin, the founding emperor of the Song dynasty and the father of Huang Shang, a famous scholar of the southern Song dynasty. When the coffin was opened, the archaeologists were astonished to find the female occupant adorned with numerous gold ornaments, such as rings, bracelets, and necklaces. They were especially amazed when they examined Huang Shang's body. This woman was dressed in 354 layers of clothing. It took the archaeologists a great deal of time and effort to remove the layers to examine the skeletal remains. According to the experts, the 354 layers included garments for all 4 seasons, sleepwear, formal attire, and casual clothing. The clothing was made from various materials, including twill fabric, silk, satin, and gauze. Moreover, the layers varied in style and weight. The thinnest garment Huang Shang wore weighed only 16.7 grams. Through this extensive collection of clothing, experts gained insight into Huang Shang's luxurious lifestyle, as well as valuable information about the fabric weaving techniques of the Song dynasty. 2,000-year-old tomb on Briar Island. The mystery surrounding an Iron Age tomb discovered on Briar Island, part of the Scilly Isles off the southwest coast of England, has intrigued scientists since its discovery in 1999. Excavations revealed that the tomb contained a bronze alloy sword and a shield beside the skeleton, items typically buried with men in the Iron Age. However, researchers were puzzled to find both a hairpin and a bronze mirror in the tomb, items commonly buried with women. The tomb, dating back to around 100 to 50 BCE, provides a rare glimpse into the lives of ancient Britons and sheds light on the role of female warriors in the inter-community wars of the Iron Age. It may have paved the way for the emergence of female leaders, such as the warrior queen Boudica of the Iceni tribe, who led a fierce revolt against Roman invaders in 60 CE. While the full symbolic meaning of the items in the tomb remains unclear, the combination of the sword and mirror suggests that the woman buried there held a high status within her community. She may have even played a leadership role in local battles, organizing or leading raids against enemy forces at the time. 400. Mysterious footprints of ancient humans. In the northern region of Tanzania, Africa, American scientists recently discovered 408 ancient human footprints. This is the largest number of fossilized footprints ever found in Africa. These footprints date back to between 19,100 and 5,760 years ago and have been preserved almost intact due to volcanic lava. According to evolutionary biologist Kevin Hatala from Chatham University, who also led the research team, the discovery of so many well-preserved ancient footprints is extremely rare and valuable. These traces will open a window for scientists to gain a clearer understanding of the past, specifically the movements of an ancient group of people at a certain moment in history. After conducting biometric studies, scientists determined that the footprints belonged to 17 individuals, including 14 adult women, 2 adult men, and 1 adolescent boy. Based on the direction and pauses of the footprints, researchers speculate that, at that time, the 14 women were foraging when they encountered the 3 men who were hunting. They then came together as a group to protect each other while searching for food in the forest, a practice still found in many tribes in East Africa today. Additionally, scientists discovered traces of several hoofed animals, such as zebras, antelopes, and buffaloes, moving in the same direction as the human group. This evidence led researchers to hypothesize that these humans might have cooperated to successfully hunt large animals. Currently, the study of ancient footprints is drawing significant interest from the scientific community because of the vivid and authentic traces they leave behind. American scientists are collaborating with top researchers worldwide to study thousands of ancient footprints, not only from humans, but also from various animals, in White Sands National Park in New Mexico. Preliminary research at this park shows that, since the Stone Age, humans have been hunting animals much larger than themselves. The 7 most shocking archaeological discoveries of 2024 that have left scientists stunned. The secret tomb in the ancient city of Petra. Petra, the ancient city located in the Ma'an Governorate of Jordan, is one of the most famous archaeological destinations in the world, holding immense historical significance. Petra was once the capital of the Nabatean Kingdom, a powerful kingdom that existed from the 4th century BC to the 2nd century AD. The city is renowned for its unique architectural structures carved directly into the pink sandstone cliffs, creating a mystical and ancient beauty. Among the remarkable buildings in Petra, the Temple of the Treasury, also known as Al-Khazna, stands out as a must-see. This elaborate temple was once believed by the Bedouins, descendants of the Nabatean dynasty, to be the place where the treasures of the Egyptian pharaohs were stored. The history and legends surrounding the treasury have drawn millions of visitors annually. However, recently, an important archaeological discovery has raised new questions about the history of Petra. Archaeologists led by Dr. Pierce Paul Kresman, executive director of the American Research Center, conducted excavations beneath the treasury and uncovered a tomb containing at least 12 human skeletons, along with valuable artifacts dating back approximately 2,000 years. These discoveries came after a long period of research and investigation. In 2003, archaeologists found 2 tombs beneath the left side of the treasury. However, further studies indicated that these rooms were not the only ones. With the help of ground-penetrating radar technology, Dr. Kresman and his team discovered physical features beneath the right side of the treasury, suggesting that a larger area might contain other tombs. The excavation then took place in August 2024, resulting in the discovery of a tomb with well-preserved skeletons. Surprisingly, while previous tombs in Petra were often empty or disturbed, this tomb contained intact skeletons along with burial goods made of copper, iron, and pottery. According to Dr. Kresman, this is an incredibly rare and valuable discovery that provides deep insight into the life and customs of the Nabateans, the ancient nomadic people. The skeletons in the tomb were in good condition, despite some signs of mold due to the humidity and seasonal flooding in Petra. One of the skeletons was holding a ceramic bowl shaped like the Holy Grail, which further adds to the mystery of this discovery. This discovery is not only important for its archaeological value, but also because it could hold the key to unlocking many mysteries about the Nabatean people, especially their burial practices. Although the Nabateans were a society with a rich and unique culture, many aspects of their life remain unclear, particularly regarding the equality within their tombs. The wreckage of a bomber missing for 80 years. In October 2024, an astonishing discovery was made when researchers announced the finding of the wreckage of a Beaufort bomber that had been missing for nearly 80 years in the Pacific Ocean. The aircraft, identified as A9-374, was part of the Royal Australian Air Force's No. 100 Squadron and had been on a mission to attack airfields near the city of Foggia, Italy, in 1943 during World War II. After the attack, the plane and its 4 crew members disappeared without a trace, making its story an integral part of history. The discovery took place off the coast of Gasmata, Papua New Guinea, in a deep-sea region where the bomber wreckage lies at a depth of about 52 feet. The wreckage is scattered across a large area, making identification a significant challenge, requiring the efforts and collaboration of many experts. Air Marshal Stephen Chappell, Chief of Air Force for Australia, stated that it was a complex task because the aircraft had suffered heavy damage and was covered in mud and marine life, making the identification process time-consuming. To carry out the mission, a team of professional divers and maritime archaeologists was involved in the search and verification. The Beaufort bomber A9374 was part of the Bristol Beaufort bomber series developed by Bristol Aeroplane Company in the late 1930s. This aircraft had a dual role, functioning both as a bomber and as a reconnaissance and torpedo aircraft. The first prototype of this model took off for the first time on October 15, 1938. Although initially designed for magnetic mine-laying missions, the Beauforts also participated in many other operations, including mine-laying missions during combat in the North Sea, the English Channel, and the Atlantic Ocean. By 1942, all Beaufort squadrons were deployed to the Mediterranean and Indian Oceans, where they faced significant threats from enemy forces. Of the 1,180 Beaufort aircraft produced during that time, many were manufactured in Australia and used by the Royal Australian Air Force, RAAF. However, not all of these aircraft survived the dangerous missions. With 700 Beauforts built in Australia, A9374 was one of the planes that did not return after its mission in Italy, leaving its disappearance as a great mystery in aviation history. The discovery of the A9374 is not just a story of a forgotten aircraft. It also serves as a testament to the sacrifice of the pilots who fought not only for their country, but also for freedom and peace. It also highlights the advancements in the application of archaeological technology and modern search methods, helping researchers uncover historical artifacts while remembering and honoring those who were lost in the war. This discovery is significant not only for the Royal Australian Air Force, but also for all those interested in history and the untold stories of World War II. The Jade Mask of the Maya King. While studying the archaeological site of Xochquitam in Petén, Guatemala, archaeologists made 2 incredible discoveries that revealed previously unknown mysteries about the ancient Maya civilization. First, researchers found that tomb raiders had dug into the remains of an ancient pyramid, an impressive structure built by the Maya. However, the tomb robbers seem to have overlooked an important area inside the pyramid's chamber. When archaeologists excavated this area themselves, they uncovered stunning treasures, including a finely crafted jade mask, which may have once belonged to a Maya king. Explorer Francisco Estrada Belli, who led the excavation, shared his emotions upon discovering the rare artifacts, saying, "It was an incredibly thrilling feeling and an honor. Sometimes we get lucky." This discovery began in 2021 when Estrada Belli and his colleagues used LiDAR surveys to study the Xochquitam area and identified traces of tomb raiding. Interestingly, the robbers had overlooked the central room in the pyramid, where archaeologists later found many valuable items, including the jade mask, human skulls, teeth, bone fragments, a coffin-like box, and other ritual objects such as pottery and oyster shells. One of the other significant discoveries was carved long bones, a special feature in Maya tombs. The archaeologists called these tesserae, jade pieces used to create mosaic masks for royal burial ceremonies. These masks often depicted gods or ancestors, which drew particular attention from the researchers. One of the bones found was intricately carved, showing that the ruler buried there was holding the head of a Maya god, much like the jade mask. This led to a major question. Who was the royal figure buried at Xochquitam? By decoding the carvings and hieroglyphics on the bone fragments, experts identified the king's name as Itzam Kokaj Bahlam. He was associated with the Maya storm god, Yax Wayab Chak G1, and archaeologists believe he ruled around 350 AD during the classic Maya period, a golden age of the civilization that is still not well understood. Estrada Belli noted that Xochquitam was a mid-sized Maya city, with a population of about 10,000 to 15,000 people living in the city and another 10,000 in the surrounding area. Although the tomb of Itzam Kokaj Bahlam indicates he was a powerful figure, archaeologists still suspect he may have been a vassal to more powerful rulers, such as those of Tikal or Teotihuacan. Currently, archaeologists are continuing their research in the area to uncover further hidden secrets. Estrada Belli and his team hope to find DNA from the bones in the tomb to learn more about the ruler and the Maya community at Chochquitam. They also plan to keep exploring the Tomb Raiders' tunnels and map neighboring cities using LiDAR technology. An exciting possibility is that the pyramid may contain additional chambers, and if this proves true, further excavation could provide a richer picture of the lives of ancient Maya at Chochquitam, offering deeper insight into this mysterious civilization. Ancient Greek helmet of the Illyrians. Near the village of Zakotarak, located on the Pelješac Peninsula about 43 miles northwest of Dubrovnik, a team of archaeologists led by Hrvoje Potrebica from the University of Zagreb conducted an exciting excavation, yielding significant discoveries about the ancient Illyrian culture. During the excavation, they uncovered numerous precious artifacts, including finely crafted jewelry and notably a Greco-Illyrian helmet, the second of its kind to be found in the area. A similar helmet was discovered in 2020. Both helmets date back to the 5th or 6th century BC, a period when historians believe the Illyrian communities were flourishing. Although information about Illyrian culture and language remains somewhat unclear, it is known that the Illyrians lived in tribal groups and thrived due to their control over important trade routes along the Adriatic coast. Illyrian tribes in the Pelješac Peninsula are believed to have dominated strategic maritime routes, establishing prosperity and power in the region. The Greco-Illyrian helmets were not part of burial rituals, as archaeologists speculate that they may have been late offerings, possibly given as gifts to honor the gods or the deceased during a special ceremony. According to Hrvoje Potrebica, both helmets were found separately, arranged in a way that indicates these were relics of veneration. They might have been gifts to show respect to the gods or the deceased in religious rituals. This suggests a profound connection between the Illyrian communities and their religious beliefs. These discoveries are not just simple pieces of jewelry, but clear evidence of the wealth and power of the Illyrian communities at that time. In addition to the helmets, archaeologists also discovered many other artifacts, such as pins, jewelry, locks, glass beads, and fibulas. These items illustrate the strong development of the Illyrian tribes and their engagement in trade and cultural exchanges with other civilizations in the region. However, the Illyrian tribes did not last long. By the end of the 1st century BC, these communities were invaded and brutally defeated by the Romans. According to historian Ivan Pomich, these mounds may have been plundered by the Romans when they arrived in the final decades of the 1st century BC under the leadership of Octavian, the future Roman emperor. The invasion and devastation by the Romans led to the abandonment of Illyrian cultural sites and settlements for a long period after the helmets were crafted. The discovery of these artifacts at Zakotarak and nearby areas not only provides insight into the life and culture of the Illyrians, but also has the potential to change traditional perspectives on the history of the Mediterranean region. Historically, the region's history was primarily recorded through the accounts of the Greeks and Romans, often from the perspective of foreign civilizations. However, these new findings suggest that the Illyrians played an important role in the region's history, potentially altering our understanding of the development of local ancient communities. Nearly 3,000-year-old tomb of an ancient woman. In the Yanghai region, located in the Turpan Basin of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in northwestern China, an important archaeological discovery has been made with the excavation of a nearly 3,000-year-old tomb of an ancient woman. Inside the tomb, archaeologists not only found the remains of the woman, but also a beautifully crafted saddle, shedding light on the role of this region in the history of horse riding in Central Asia. This discovery has confirmed an important hypothesis that the Yanghai region and the Turpan Basin played a strategic role in the development of horse riding, especially during the first 500 years of the first millennium BC. The saddle found in Yanghai may mark the beginning of saddle-making history, with design features that can be found in modern saddles today. The saddle is meticulously crafted. The padding of the saddle is made from cowhide, with an inner mixture of deer hair and camel wool, which helps to reduce the hardness and provides comfort to the rider. The saddle is estimated to date from around 727 to 396 BC, making it one of the significant inventions in improving ancient horse riding equipment. Notably, the saddle was found directly beneath the woman's remains, as if she were sitting on it, wearing a leather jacket, woolen pants, and short leather boots. This suggests a close connection between horseback riding and the daily life of the people in this area. In addition to the saddle, the tomb also contained several other artifacts, including a ceramic cup with a handle, woolen cloth fragments, and remnants of clothing such as a leather jacket and short leather boots, although most of the clothing was decayed after thousands of years. The remarkable preservation of these artifacts provides archaeologists with valuable insights into the material life of the ancient inhabitants of the Yanghai region. Previous studies have shown that around 3,300 years ago, people in the Altai Mountains region began using horse milk, but the domestication of horses and horseback riding in the southern regions, including Yanghai, occurred later, around the 12th century BC. In fact, within the Yanghai cemetery, reins have been found in 19 tombs, dating from the 10th to the 3rd century BC, demonstrating the gradual development of horse usage in daily life and warfare. The discovery of the saddle at Yanghai is particularly significant because it not only serves as evidence of advancements in saddle-making technology, but also indicates a shift in the mindset of horseback riders. Before saddles, reins were used to control horses, but with the invention of the saddle, riders began to consider the comfort, safety, and well-being of both the rider and the horse. This reflects the development in the use of horses, not just as tools for labor or warfare, but also as an important mode of transportation. A magical treasure worth more than gold found among 25 5,000-year-old skeletons. The magical treasure I'm referring to is an ancient crystal dagger excavated from the Montelirio megalithic tomb site, located in the Guadalquivir Valley, Spain. This dagger is not just a weapon, but also an ancient treasure that is approximately 5,000 years old. It stands as evidence of the extraordinary advancements in craftsmanship made by prehistoric civilizations, particularly when considering the material and the intricate details of the dagger. The dagger is 8.5 inches long, with a blade made from transparent crystal and a hilt meticulously crafted from ivory. To create such an artifact 5,000 years ago, when tools and techniques were still very primitive, is an accomplishment that continues to astonish archaeologists. Crystal is not only a precious material, but also carries special significance in ancient cultures. It symbolizes life force and a connection to ancestors, which is why tools and weapons made from crystal often held deep spiritual and symbolic value for ancient civilizations. This discovery is particularly important because the crystal used to craft the dagger was an uncommon material during that time. Typically, weapons and tools were made from flint or other hard stones, but crystal is fragile and difficult to work with. This makes the crystal dagger found in Spain all the more special. It was not only a tool for combat, but also a symbol of wealth and power, indicating that its owner was an elite member of society. Researchers from the University of Granada, University of Seville, and the Spanish National Research Council carried out excavations at the site from 2007 to 2010. They found that, in addition to the crystal dagger, there were a series of other treasures, including 10 arrowheads and 4 sword blades, all of which had crystal blades. Although the hilts were made from more common materials like stone or wood, the crystal blades were extremely rare and finely crafted. This discovery reveals a sophisticated crafting process, possibly passed down through generations, with experience accumulated from making tools from stone to mastering crystal crafting techniques. Notably, the crystal dagger is believed to have been made from a single block of crystal, with the piece measuring at least 8.7 inches long and 2 inches thick. Shaping such a large piece of crystal without breaking it would have required extremely advanced craftsmanship. Researchers speculate that the technique for creating these weapons was developed over generations and involved a smoothing process to avoid cracking during the shaping. In addition to the weapons, the tomb contained the remains of 25 individuals, including some women and a man believed to have died from poisoning. Their bodies were scattered around the tomb, alongside offerings such as ivory, jewelry, pottery, and an ostrich egg. These items not only reflect the wealth of the tomb's owner, but also give insight into the religious beliefs and rituals of the ancient people. This discovery becomes even more fascinating when placed in the broader context of ancient cultures. French knights, for example, once attached pieces of crystal to their swords, believing it would grant them strength. In Tibet, people believed that crystal could help warriors recover quickly from injuries. Therefore, the crystal dagger is not only an archaeological treasure, but also a testament to the belief in the mystical power of crystal across different cultures worldwide. The incredible treasure in the Empress Dowager Cixi's tomb. Empress Dowager Cixi, also known as the West Empress Dowager or the Old Buddha, was one of the most powerful women in Chinese history. She ruled China for nearly half a century, not only as the mother of emperors, but also as a figure who manipulated power beyond the emperor himself. Although she was never an official emperor, her authority strongly influenced 3 generations of rulers, and even the highest-ranking officials in the court had to bow to her power. After her death, Empress Dowager Cixi was posthumously given an illustrious title, and her funeral was one of the most grandiose in imperial history. Her tomb is one of the greatest and wealthiest monuments in Chinese history. In addition to occupying a larger area than the tombs of Emperor Xianfeng and his son, Emperor Tongzhai, this tomb also contains priceless treasures beyond estimation. Empress Dowager Cixi was renowned for her passion for collecting rare and valuable items, especially objects like jade, diamonds, and other invaluable treasures. Inside her coffin, the burial goods were valued at hundreds of millions of ounces of silver, including precious gems, pearls, and a golden thread-embroidered quilt with thousands of Dalai scriptures. Particularly notable was the crown she wore when she passed away, adorned with a pearl valued at an astounding $301 million. However, the fate of these treasures was far from smooth. In 1928, Empress Dowager Cixi's tomb was looted, and several priceless items, including the famous pearl from her mouth, were taken. This pearl is believed to have been connected to the legendary Mughal emperor's diamond, a priceless treasure that vanished after multiple wars. Some theories suggest that the pearl might have fallen into the hands of billionaire John D. Rockefeller, or it might still be hidden in Taiwan. However, the true fate of this gem remains a mystery with no resolution. The 9 most shocking archaeological discoveries found in sewers that shocked the world. Ancient treasure and mysteries in a 2,000-year-old tomb. 10 years ago, in April 2011, a construction company working on a sewer system in the Kaputra area of Hanoi, Vietnam, accidentally uncovered 2 ancient tombs nearly 2,000 years old and an ancient well about 650 feet away. The discovery of these tombs and the well sparked great interest across Vietnam due to their historical significance, and archaeologists were thrilled to find valuable artifacts that allowed them to delve deeper into the lives of ancient people. At the time, the construction crew, while installing the underground sewer system at a depth of about 6.5 feet, hit a row of bricks that revealed the first tomb. Inside, a thick layer of mud about 14 inches deep covered the tomb's floor. Upon this discovery, they stopped work and called the Hanoi Monument Management Board. As the excavator moved about 5 feet away from the first tomb to continue digging, it unexpectedly struck the top of the second tomb, breaking part of the roof and exposing more mud that almost filled 1/3 of the tomb's side. Archaeologists immediately arrived to investigate. Initial excavation revealed 2 tombs, one larger and one smaller. Dr. Nguyen Lan Kung, vice president of the Vietnam Archaeology Association, noted that in the early days of excavation, he observed a distinguishing feature of these tombs compared to others: a row of arch brick vaults running along the tomb's roof. Looking from above, the 2 tombs appeared like 2 fish lying parallel to each other in a northwest-southeast orientation, each with a fin on top. The arch brick vault was something never before seen in any other tomb. The large tomb contained a mix of decorative patterns including coin motifs and lattice designs between the edges of the bricks. The smaller tomb mostly featured fishbone patterns, with some lattice motifs. But perhaps the most mysterious aspect was the presence of 40 ancient Chinese characters inside the large tomb. On the left was the earth radical, and on the right was the wood radical. Dr. Nguyen Lan Kung sought out experts in Chinese studies to interpret these ancient characters, but to this day, their meaning remains a mystery. During the excavation, archaeologists found a total of 28 artifacts in the large tomb, including 16 bowls, plates, and vases made from glazed and unglazed pottery, 9 rusty iron nails, a blue glass bead, a light green rectangular stone slab, and a very thin broken copper bowl. Most notably, archaeologists discovered charred rice and grains at the bottom layer of the tomb. Upon further digging, they uncovered small bowls containing even more charred rice and grains, with some rice grains still retaining their husk and part of the stalk. The rice grains were oval to round in shape with a length-width ratio of 0.067–0.098 inches. In the smaller tomb, archaeologists found 5 ceramic items, including a beautifully decorated chicken-shaped pot with a clear comb, eyes, and tail. This was perhaps the most valuable item from the excavation. Neither tomb showed signs of wooden coffins or human remains, likely because these had decayed, as was common in northern Vietnam's burial practices during the period of Chinese rule. Dr. Kong stated that, based on the size of the bricks used in the tombs and the design of the pottery, both tombs likely date back to the 6th Dynasties period, around the 4th to 6th centuries, with the larger tomb being slightly older than the smaller one. As for the ancient well found about 650 feet away, the excavator uncovered several layers of bricks along the well's rim, though the well itself remained quite intact. The bricks inside the well dated from the 6th century to the 15th century, indicating that the area had been inhabited for a long time by people living near the Red River, on the outskirts of the ancient capital of Dai La. The late scholar and Hanoi historian Nguyen Vinh Phuc shared with the press at the time of the discovery that the area where the tombs and well were found used to be a town, known as the administrative center of the ancient Jiao Chou region. The area had previously yielded many Han tombs. Phuc stated, "Finding 2 ancient tombs and a well in the Saputra urban area is not surprising, because where people once lived, they must have died, and where there are people, there must be water for living. If we continue excavating in this area, we are likely to find more ancient tombs." However, what makes this excavation special is the discovery of artifacts never before seen in Hanoi, such as copper kettles, iron nails, rice, and grains, all of which reveal the glorious past of the people who once lived here. 4,000-year-old ceramic sewer system. On August 14th, archaeologists discovered the oldest ceramic water pipes in China, offering a fascinating glimpse into the advanced engineering skills of ancient people. This ceramic piping system dates back to the Longshan period, around 2600–2000 BCE, serving as evidence of the ability to build complex engineering structures without the support of a centralized government. The system of ceramic pipes and drainage channels was found at the site of the ancient city of Pinliangtai, which is now part of the Huaiyang district in Jiukou City, Henan Province, central China. During the Neolithic period, Pinliangtai was a densely populated area, home to about 500 people living in a community protected by surrounding walls and moats. It is notable that around 4,000 years ago, this region underwent significant climate changes, particularly the influence of the summer monsoon, which brought rainfall amounts of up to 18 inches per month. With such heavy rainfall, flood control became crucial for the people of Pinliangtai. To manage this, the locals designed and operated a highly effective 2-tiered drainage system to regulate the abundant rainwater during the wet season. These simple drainage ditches worked in perfect coordination. The channels were built parallel to rows of houses, directing water from the residential area into ceramic pipes. The water was then carried away from the settlement and drained into the surrounding moat. What makes the system remarkable is the ceramic pipes themselves, which were expertly crafted with a diameter of approximately 8 to 12 inches and a length of 12–16 inches. Several segments of pipes were joined together to form longer sections, enabling the transportation of water over large distances. These ceramic pipes not only served as conduits for water, but also demonstrated the sophisticated technical knowledge of people 4,000 years ago. This discovery represents the oldest known ceramic water pipe system ever found in China. The finding is even more impressive when archaeologists suggest that this system may have been constructed and maintained without the support of a centralized power structure. Yijie Zhuang, one of the study's authors and an archaeologist at University College London, stated that building and maintaining such an advanced water control system required a high degree of coordination and community organization. Echoing this, Hai Zhang, an archaeologist from Peking University, emphasized that this discovery shows that the people of Pinliangtai had extensive knowledge of engineering and hydrology, which was previously thought to be the domain of more hierarchically organized societies. This discovery not only highlights the technical abilities of ancient peoples, but also offers a new perspective on Stone Age civilizations, proving that even in communities without centralized political organization, humans could achieve remarkable technical feats. 150. Mysterious skeletons. In November 2024, a group of workers, while renovating the drainage system at Alley 167 Tay Son Street, Dong Da District, Hanoi, Vietnam, accidentally uncovered numerous small coffins containing human remains. The discovery quickly attracted attention from both local authorities and the public, with nearly 150 skeletons and 50 skeletons found at a depth of about 3 feet. Immediately, the workers halted construction and gathered the remains into new small coffins, awaiting guidance from the authorities on how to proceed. Ha Un-tuan, deputy chairman of the Dong Da District People's Committee, stated that after the discovery, the authorities ordered the halt of infrastructure work to ensure safety and implement necessary procedures. The remains were collected and covered with tarps by the roadside, awaiting transport to an appropriate burial site. Local residents mentioned that this was not the first time they had witnessed the discovery of human remains during construction work. In the past, while digging foundations for homes or carrying out other construction projects, the discovery of skeletons had been a relatively frequent occurrence. This sparked curiosity and speculation about the area's history and culture, with some suggesting that the site may have been an ancient cemetery. As of now, the renovation of the drainage system at Alley 167 Tay Son in Hanoi remains temporarily halted. Authorities have cordoned off the work area to ensure public safety, as handling and relocating the remains must be done with care and respect to ensure the peaceful rest of the departed souls. This event once again highlights the importance of preserving Hanoi's historical and cultural values, a city rich in thousands of years of history and untold stories. Animal remains in the Roman Colosseum. In 2022, archaeologists announced the discovery of several animal skeletons in ancient drains at the Roman Colosseum in Italy, including that of a dog. Notably, among the skeletons, scientists from the Roman Colosseum Archaeological Park analyzed one set of remains, which they believe could belong to an ancestor of the Dachshund breed. These dogs, they suggest, were not intended as pets, but rather used for entertainment purposes. Originating in Germany in the 18th century, Dachshunds are known for their strong jaws, muscular bodies, and short legs, making them well-suited for self-defense and hunting on all types of terrain. Today, these dogs are trained to hunt small animals such as rabbits and wild boars, or are kept as pets by wealthy families. However, their past is far from peaceful. Alfonsina Russo, director of the Roman Colosseum Archaeological Park, stated, "We found many dog bones similar to those of modern dachshunds. Unfortunately, these were not simple pets, but animals used for entertainment, forced to fight bears and lions in the Colosseum, leading to their death. In addition to fighting in the arena for the amusement of the crowd, these dogs were also used in circus performances, performing tricks or serving as targets for hunting enthusiasts of the time." Archaeologists also discovered the bones of leopards, lions, bears, and ostriches. They also found leftover food items, including figs, grapes, olives, plums, and nuts, which may have been consumed by the audience while watching the performances. Furthermore, the team uncovered more than 50 copper fragments dating from the late Roman period, along with a silver coin minted in 170 to 171 AD to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Emperor Marcus Aurelius's reign. The primary aim of this research was to gain a better understanding of the ancient drainage system at the Colosseum. Notably, this historical knowledge may help address some modern-day issues in Rome, such as frequent heavy rainfall that leads to flooding. As a result, archaeologists and engineers have been tasked with finding a solution to this problem, with the restoration of the ancient drainage system being a key focus in an effort to uncover more mysteries from the past. Ancient underground drainage system from 2,000 years ago. On September 9, 2024, Israeli archaeologists announced a remarkable discovery in Jerusalem. Specifically, the research team uncovered part of an ancient underground drainage system, which experts believe the Jews used to escape from the Roman army during the conquest of the city 2,000 years ago. This discovery is located in the area of the ancient city of David, now part of Jerusalem, and near the village of Silwan in the outskirts of Palestine. Eli Shukran, one of the archaeologists from the Israel Antiquities Authority, stated that his team had uncovered about 230 feet of the drainage system while excavating at this site. This part of the system connects the village of Silwan to an area just 30 feet west of the Western Wall. The Western Wall, a remnant of the Second Temple, is the only surviving structure of the Jewish temple destroyed by the Romans during their siege of Jerusalem in 70 CE. According to scientists, this drainage system was constructed underground, running beneath the main street of the ancient city and connecting to the Dead Sea. Made from large stone blocks and paved with flagstones, the system includes sections that are as tall as 10 feet and wide as 3 feet, wide enough for people to walk through comfortably. This suggests that the drainage system was not just a functional sewer, but also served as a secret refuge for Jews during times of Roman occupation. In the writings of the historian Josephus Flavius, famous for his accounts of Roman conquests, it is mentioned that the Jews used these tunnels to hide and escape when the Romans captured Jerusalem. This discovery holds immense archaeological value and contributes to expanding our understanding of the tragic history of Jerusalem and the suffering its people endured during wartime. In addition to the drainage system, archaeologists also found many ancient artifacts, including broken pottery and coins, confirming the long history and significance of this area. This discovery once again underscores the invaluable historical significance of Jerusalem, a city that holds countless heroic and tragic stories from past generations. 800-year-old brick tomb in China. While renovating the drainage system in Shanxi Province, China, an astonishing archaeological discovery was made when workers unexpectedly unearthed a brick tomb dating back 800 years. According to the Shanxi Provincial Institute of Archaeology, after receiving reports from the workers, a team of experts immediately went to the site to inspect and excavate the tomb. Through their investigation, the specialists confirmed that the tomb dated back to around 1196 during the Jin dynasty. Inside the tomb, there were 3 sets of remains, including 2 adults and 1 child. Research indicates that the 2 adults died between the ages of 50 and 60, while the child passed away at an age between 6 and 8. The tomb also contained many ceramic artifacts, which helped further establish the time period and burial customs of this era. Notably, one of the ceramic pieces recorded information about the time of the tomb's construction, allowing researchers to pinpoint the tomb's construction to between 1190 and 1196. What truly makes this tomb stand out, however, is not just its age, but its unique decoration. The tomb is oriented southward, with walls adorned with vivid images of lions, sea anemones, flowers, and 2 creatures believed to serve as protectors for the soul of the deceased. This kind of decoration is very rare in ancient tombs and reflects the intricate craftsmanship and spiritual beliefs of the Jin dynasty people. This discovery provides a deep insight into the customs and beliefs of the Jin era and offers immense value for the study of Chinese history and culture, shedding light on a fascinating and mysterious chapter of ancient dynasties. Gigantic and mysterious animal bones. On an unexpected day, the Skepman family from Seymour, Indiana, USA, while digging a drainage ditch on their farm, made a miraculous discovery. Initially, they thought they had unearthed a pile of cow bones, but as they continued digging, they were amazed to find a femur over 4 feet long and an ivory tusk that resembled an elephant tusk, but much larger. The area was further excavated, and more bones were uncovered, including a jawbone with teeth, upper limb bones, vertebrae, joints, and part of a skull. The tusk was in 2 pieces, and although it was enormous, experts confirmed that it was only 1/3 of the tusk from the animal. The remains were later identified as belonging to a mastodon, an ancient animal from the mammoth genus and the Mammutidae family. Mastodons are closely related to modern elephants but became extinct thousands of years ago. They lived on Earth around 4 million years ago and resembled woolly mammoths, though they differed in their family and certain biological features. This mastodon is estimated to have weighed up to 12,000 pounds and died at the age of 40-50. The remains date back about 13,000 years, indicating that this animal lived during the Ice Age. To share this discovery with the community, Joe Shepman, the family patriarch, and other family members decided to donate the valuable mastodon skeleton to the Indiana State Museum. Joe Shepman and his son Brad explained that they hoped the skeleton would bring pride to the community, especially for future generations. It's wonderful for a child to visit the museum in Indianapolis, see these bones and tusks, and know they were found right here in their hometown. 2,200-year-old temple. While excavating a drainage system near the west bank of the Nile River in Egypt, a team of workers unexpectedly discovered the remnants of a 2,200-year-old temple. The temple is believed to belong to Pharaoh Ptolemy IV, who ruled Egypt from 221 to 204 BC. Construction work was halted immediately after the discovery, and archaeologists began their investigation. They found an inscription on the temple's walls bearing the name Ptolemy IV, along with images of birds and animals. In addition, the research team discovered a north-south wall, an east-west wall, and the southwestern corner of the ruins. Carvings on the walls depicted the god Hapi carrying offerings, surrounded by birds and flowers. Hapi was regarded as the god of the Nile floods in ancient Egyptian religion and was also the patron deity of Upper and Lower Egypt. Experts are currently working to preserve what remains of the 2,200-year-old temple, hoping to uncover more mysteries from the past. The Ptolemy IV temple is the latest discovery in a series of archaeological finds in Egypt this year. Other notable discoveries include 8 mummies from the Ptolemaic dynasty around 323–30 BC near Giza, a stone sphinx statue in Qom Ombo, a riverside temple near Aswan, and a 4,400-year-old tomb in the Saqqara archaeological area. Giant gold vault beneath the drain. In 1836, a strange event occurred at the Bank of England, which helped the institution avoid a potential financial disaster. The Bank of England, established in 1694 to initially assist the government financially during the war against France, had become one of the most important banks in Britain. However, an unexpected incident occurred, and thanks to the actions of a drainage worker, the bank narrowly avoided a potential threat. While working on the sewage system near the bank's gold vault, a worker discovered a loose stone in the old drainage system. His curiosity, combined with a bit of luck, led him to lift the stone and find a secret entrance leading directly to the bank's gold vault, where large quantities of gold and valuables were stored. The worker realized that if a thief discovered this entrance, the vast amount of gold could be stolen without anyone noticing. Understanding the gravity of the situation, the worker chose not to report it immediately to the authorities. Instead, he anonymously wrote a letter to the bank's directors, explaining how he had entered the gold vault twice during the night undetected and requested a meeting to verify the existence of the secret passage. Though skeptical, the directors decided to pass the letter along to investigators. However, despite following the lead, the detectives didn't uncover anything unusual, aside from some strange noises, and the investigation yielded no results. The directors began to think the matter was insignificant and were about to close the case when they received another letter, this time from the worker's wife. The letter confirmed that her husband was honest, and she was willing to prove that he had easily entered the vault simply by lifting a loose stone from the sewage system. Convincing the directors, 3 of them decided to follow the instructions in the letter and check the vault. When they arrived at the gold vault in the middle of the night, they were surprised to see the drainage worker, who confirmed he had discovered the secret passage while repairing the sewer. By simply lifting a stone in the old drain, he could enter the vault undetected. Through his honesty and responsibility, the worker helped the Bank of England avoid losing a large amount of gold. To reward his courageous and truthful actions, the bank directors decided to give him a reward of £800, a substantial sum at the time, equivalent to over £32,000 today. This story is not only an example of honesty, but also a lesson in vigilance and the importance of protecting valuable assets. Thanks to this anonymous drainage worker, the Bank of England successfully protected its gold vault and avoided a potential disaster. The mummy of a strange winged creature, just discovered by scientists, shocks the world. The mummy of a creature, stepping out of a fairy tale. If you think fairies only exist in the world of fairy tales by Andersen with their tiny wings, you might have to rethink that when you see the mummy of the creature that's been puzzling scientists. Specifically, in the realm of strange phenomena, discoveries that make us question the boundaries between science and the mystical, there's one finding that has stirred the UFO and strange creature research community. A tiny mummy, only about 12 inches long, with delicate wings and a face resembling that of reptiles, has left scientists scratching their heads in search of answers. Preserved in formaldehyde, this creature retains its limbs and, notably its fragile wings, which at first glance could easily be mistaken for a creature from a fairy tale, as I mentioned earlier. This discovery has caught the attention of Richard Shaw and Marzulli, renowned researchers in the fields of UFOs and strange creatures. They immediately traveled to Mexico, where the mummy was discovered, to learn more about this creature. There, they met and spoke with Jaime Maussan, the host of the television channel Tercer Milenio, about the strange creature and UFOs, and he is also the one who claimed to have discovered the tiny alien being. According to Jaime Maussan, he received the mummy from a 13-year-old boy who had found the strange creature on a mountaintop. Maussan asserted that the boy could not have created such a sophisticated mummy on his own, and he believed it was a genuine creature, not a counterfeit. To verify the information, the research team conducted X-ray scans and DNA analysis of the specimen. Upon studying the sample, biologist Forster stated that this was a peculiar animal, and it was unlikely to be a forgery. Specifically, when the X-ray scans were performed, scientists discovered the skeletal structure of the creature, which they believed indicated that this was not an artificial object. Though the origins of this creature remain uncertain to this day, Jaime Maussan and his colleagues still believe that this is a significant discovery. According to Maussan, it could be a hybrid creature or the result of secret experiments, and the questions surrounding the existence of extraterrestrial beings remain an unsolved mystery. 36,000-year-old bison mummy. Do you remember one of the most talked about events in North America in the late 1890s? It was the Klondike Gold Rush. At that time, it was estimated that over 100,000 people rushed to Alaska and the northwest of Canada in search of gold. Some became wealthy, but the majority returned empty-handed. By 1976, the gold rush had finally cooled down. However, the Rumans family, just like many other families searching for gold, found something much bigger and more astonishing. They discovered the mummified remains of a male bison that had been naturally frozen. The discovery site was near the city of Fairbanks in Alaska. They named it Blue Babe, after the myth of Babe the Blue Ox, the pet of a giant lumberjack. The Rumans family was in shock, so they decided to immediately contact Dale Guthrie, a professor of archaeology at the University of Alaska. However, it took 3 years for Professor Guthrie's research team to break through the ice and successfully excavate the large bison mummy. It was only then that they realized they were witnessing one of the most perfectly preserved specimens of bison ever found. Using radiocarbon dating, researchers determined that this bison had died 36,000 years ago. There were many wounds on its neck and back, most likely from the powerful bite of a saber-toothed cat. This branch of saber-tooths went extinct during the Ice Age and is also an ancestor of the modern African lion. The encounter likely took place in winter, and while the bison seemed to have escaped, it ultimately froze to death in the extreme cold. The freezing temperatures also helped preserve its injuries. Over tens of thousands of years, layers of snow and ice built up over the mummy, causing it to sleep until its excavation in 1979. The specimen found belonged to the bison priscus species. It lived during the last ice age, about 110,000 to 10,000 years ago, in Europe, Central Asia, and North America. The bison was one of the largest land animals, alongside mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and tigers. Bison priscus went extinct 8,000 years ago. However, some of its relatives still exist today, including the bison species. This modern bison is smaller, but still stands up to 9 feet tall and weighs over 1,300 pounds on average. The mummy was excavated in July, during the middle of summer. As soon as it was removed from the ice, it began showing signs of decomposition. The research team was worried that the specimen wouldn't be usable for future studies of bison. Therefore, they decided to extract the meat, blood, and marrow separately to preserve the rest of the specimen at the Alaska Museum. Fortunately, the team succeeded with the help of animal preservation expert Eric Grankvist from the University of Helsinki in Finland. By mid-1894, the processed bison mummy was ready for display. And you know what? Before the mummy was displayed, the research team had kept a small portion of the frozen bison meat. Whether out of curiosity or for scientific purposes, Dale's team decided to cook a small piece of meat from the bison's neck and try it. You're probably wondering how it tasted, right? Of course, everyone lived to tell the tale. Dale Guthrie mentioned, "The meat was tough but still edible and tasted like beef. None of us vomited or had any problems afterward." To this day, the blue babe bison specimen proudly resides at the Museum of the North at the University of Alaska. If you're curious, you can visit and see it for yourself. Ancient woolly rhinoceros, mummy found in Siberia. In August 2024, a miraculous discovery took place in Siberia when gold miners accidentally found the mummified remains of an ancient woolly rhinoceros near a quarry in the Sakha Republic, Russia. What's particularly remarkable is that the rhino's horn and soft tissue were astonishingly well preserved. Images of the mummy quickly spread on Telegram, attracting the attention of both scientists and the public. Upon receiving the news, researchers from the Northeast Federal University, NEFU, in Yakutsk, immediately traveled to the site to recover the rhino's horn and stated that excavation of the rest of the mummy would continue over the coming months. This discovery is considered a rare opportunity for further study of the natural history of the Siberian region, particularly its ancient wildlife and environmental conditions. As you can see, Siberia's permafrost has created a natural storage system that has preserved the remains of ancient creatures for tens of thousands of years. The cold conditions helped mummify the remains and keep the soft tissues intact, acting like a frozen time capsule that allows scientists to explore details that other ancient objects cannot reveal. This is why this discovery is so significant, as the preserved soft tissue gives researchers a chance to learn about the living conditions and behaviors of Ice Age creatures. Maxim Cheprasov, a senior researcher at the Mammoth Museum at NEFU, stated that this is the 5th time scientists have found a woolly rhinoceros with preserved soft tissue, but this is the first time they've encountered a specimen in such well-preserved condition. The woolly rhinoceros was one of the iconic animals of the Pleistocene era, living between approximately 2.6 million and 11,700 years ago. They mainly inhabited the cold regions of northern Europe, Asia, and North America before going extinct around 10,000 years ago due to climate change and human influence. Researchers plan to continue excavating the rest of the rhino's remains to learn more about its age, sex, and physiological condition. Studying the rhino's horn will also help determine its morphological characteristics, providing valuable information about the species. This discovery not only represents a significant advancement in the field of archaeology, but also offers a priceless opportunity to understand Earth's past, helping to unravel the mysteries of the animals and environments of the Ice Age. 30,000-year-old mummified unknown creature. In 2018, near the town of Dawson in the Yukon region of Canada, on the Klondike goldfields, a gold miner accidentally discovered a round, furry ball. Little did anyone know that this ball was the mummified remains of a 30,000-year-old Arctic ground squirrel curled up in a resting position. The specimen was so well preserved that scientists could clearly see details like the fur, tiny claws, and even the shape of its small ears and tail. This discovery amazed many experts and opened a rare opportunity to study creatures that lived during the Ice Age. Grant Zazula, a renowned paleontologist in Yukon, shared that he initially didn't recognize the creature as a squirrel until he saw its small features like the hands, claws, and tail. After examining the specimen, veterinarian Jess Heath performed an X-ray and confirmed that this was a young Arctic ground squirrel, likely trying to hibernate in a burrow but was buried by snow and died while curled up. What's particularly remarkable is that despite being 30,000 years old, the squirrel remains perfectly preserved due to the ideal conditions of the permafrost, almost like being stored in a prehistoric refrigerator. The Arctic ground squirrel, a species still found in Yukon today, typically digs underground burrows to hibernate. However, it is extremely rare to find a squirrel in such a well-preserved state, as most Ice Age squirrel nests only leave behind traces or bones. Finding an intact animal with its face, skin, and fur looking as if it had just died was incredibly exciting for Zazula. According to him, this discovery is not only an important scientific breakthrough, but also offers a greater understanding of the life of creatures during the Ice Age. The Klondike area, where this mummified specimen was found, was once covered by permafrost from the Ice Age. It's likely that the cold, thick snow and ice helped preserve these ancient creatures, from their fur and nails to other parts of their bodies. Mummified alien-like creature. In the summer of 1996, a strange event occurred in the village of Kaolinovy, near the city of Kishtim in the Ural region, located over 1,000 miles east of Moscow, Russia. Tamara Prosverina, a retired woman, attracted attention when she was often seen carrying something wrapped in a blanket and talking to it. Local residents, witnessing this scene, thought she might have mental health issues. One neighbor recalled, "She said it was her son, but no one ever saw the child's face." It was known that her only son, Alexei, was an adult, which made her story of carrying a child even more confusing. At first, people thought she had gone mad and was talking to a toy or an inanimate object. However, when the situation was revealed, it became clear that what she was carrying was not a toy, but a living creature. This creature had a humanoid appearance, standing only about 8 to 10 inches tall, with a brown body, no hair, bulging eyes, and a small mouth that made shrill sounds. One of her friends, Tamara Naumova, recalled, "Its body was like that of a child. She fed it cheese and condensed milk. Its mouth was round and red, and it seemed sad." These details sparked both curiosity and skepticism in the local community. Many locals speculated that this might be an alien being, while another theory suggested that the creature could be the result of a radiation mutation, as Kishtim, where Tamara Prosverina lived, had suffered a nuclear disaster in 1957. A plutonium explosion at a nearby nuclear plant had caused a serious accident, affecting many surrounding areas. This raised speculations about a possible connection between the strange creature and the nuclear disaster. A few months later, Tamara Prosverina was admitted to a mental health facility, and when she returned, the creature had died. A friend of hers, in an attempt to preserve the creature's body, washed it with strong alcohol and dried it, turning it into a mummified specimen. Eventually, the creature's body was handed over to the police. Medical experts offered different conclusions about the creature. A pathologist concluded that it was not a human, while another doctor suggested it could have been a severely deformed child. As for Tamara Prosverina, the woman who had been so close to the strange creature, she passed away in 1999 in a car accident. Afterward, the story of the creature faded into obscurity, and most of the people who had witnessed the event also passed away. However, the incident remains an unsolved mystery. The mysterious mummified demon baby in Japan. Yamaguchi Bintaro, born in 1966 in Tokushima Prefecture, is a renowned writer and entrepreneur known for his passion for researching bizarre creatures and mysterious phenomena in Japan. His office is not only a workspace, but also a treasure trove filled with strange artifacts, with the most notable being a photograph of the mummified demon baby, a grotesque creature with a terrifying appearance. This mummified demon baby is described as a tiny creature, measuring only about 12 inches long, with limbs ending in long claws, a wide mouth that stretches from ear to ear, and two small horns protruding from its forehead. Its diminutive size led many to believe it was the mummified remains of a newborn demon. But what perplexes everyone is that no one knows the exact origin of this strange creature or why it was preserved. According to legend, this mummified creature was once kept at the Rakanji Temple, located in the Yabake region of Oita Prefecture, Japan. There, an ancient book called Demon Chronicle documented the origins of this bizarre mummified being. However, during a fire in 1943, the Rakanji Temple was destroyed, and not only was the demon baby's mummified body lost, but also many precious documents, including the Demon Chronicle, were burned. That fire erased valuable records, making it even more difficult to uncover the mystery surrounding this creature. One rumor suggests that the mummified demon baby was discovered on Kagoshima Island, but beyond this, all other details about it remain unclear. Since then, the story of this bizarre being has become a major mystery, with the only evidence of its existence being the photograph of its mummified body. Despite many years passing, the mystery has never been solved, and it is precisely this ambiguity that makes it captivating and intriguing for those passionate about researching supernatural phenomena and strange creatures. Yamaguchi Bintaro, with his research and collections, has made a significant contribution to maintaining interest in such mysterious stories. While many details have been lost over time, curiosity and a passion for exploration continue to drive researchers to seek answers to unsolved mysteries. The mummified mysterious creature, found in a Russian diamond mine. At the Udashny diamond mine in Yakutia, Russia, miners accidentally discovered a strange mummified creature that stunned the scientific community. This creature's remains were buried deep under layers of sand millions of years ago and appeared to resemble a dinosaur or an unknown carnivorous species that had never been recorded. The discovery immediately captured the attention of experts and sparked a wave of speculation about the creature's origin and history. Initially, the miners believed it could be a type of dinosaur based on the structure of the skeleton and the impressive size of the remains. However, scientists remain skeptical and need more time for thorough research. One of the first hypotheses proposed was that the creature might belong to the wolf family, a carnivorous mammal with a bear-like appearance. But this hypothesis led scientists to reconsider, as they had never encountered a species with such a form in this region. With the specimen's estimated age dating back to the Mesozoic era, between 66 million and 252 million years ago, the discovery has left scientists puzzled. Could this be the remains of an extinct species, or is it just a part of an ancient biological history that we can't yet explain? It's a tough question to answer, isn't it? The creature's remains are set to be transferred from Udashny to Yakutsk, the capital of the region, for more detailed research. There, scientists will analyze the bone structure and decode its DNA, hoping to uncover accurate information about the species and ultimately provide the most precise answers. The Udashny diamond mine, where this mysterious creature was found, is no stranger to strange and cryptic stories. Discovered in 1955, it has become one of the largest diamond mines in the world. However, throughout its mining history, the natural history secrets of this area have remained hidden deep underground. 40,000-year-old mummified horse found in Siberia. The land of Siberia, known as the Gate of Hell, continues to unveil secrets from the past, with a remarkable discovery recently recorded by scientists. Specifically, the remains of a horse that lived around 40,000 years ago have been found in perfect preservation at the Batagai sedimentary area, where the permafrost is gradually melting due to climate change. This is the first time researchers have had the opportunity to observe a prehistoric creature preserved so perfectly. Found in thick layers of ice, the remains of the young horse, only about 3 months old at the time of death, still retain its fur, mane, and tail, as well as intact internal organs. This is a particularly important discovery, not only due to the incredible preservation, but also because it offers valuable clues about the habitat of ancient animals during that era. Scientists from the Northeast Federal University in Yakutsk and Kindai University in Japan have joined forces to study this specimen, hoping to gain more insights into the mysteries of the climate and ecosystem of ancient times. The Batagai crater, a region with unique geographical features, reaches a depth of 91 meters and has a diameter of about 0.5 miles. It is gradually expanding at a rate of 33 to 98 feet per year due to the melting of the permafrost. This area is not only home to ancient fossils such as horses, moose, and mammoths, but is also the center of many mysterious stories, as local residents frequently hear strange noises, including loud explosions from deep underground. Semyon Grigoriev, an expert and head of the Mammoth Museum in Yakutsk, has stated that this discovery offers a valuable opportunity to learn more about the environment in which ancient animals lived. In the research process, scientists are not only analyzing the creature, but also focusing on understanding more about past climate changes. With the permafrost melting at an accelerating pace, discoveries like this could provide invaluable insights into the process of environmental changes on our planet, as well as the impacts of current climate change. These findings are not only historically significant, but also serve as crucial evidence to help us better understand the process of evolution and climate change over millions of years. With each new discovery, the story of mysterious creature mummies becomes even more enigmatic and fascinating. While these findings give rise to countless theories, ranging from extraterrestrial beings to undisclosed experiments, the question of their true origin remains unanswered. Can science open the door to uncover creatures we've never known before? Or will these mysteries forever remain a part of stories without conclusions? Keep following our channel to uncover the answer by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. For now, goodbye and see you next time.